Welcome back to the 5280 Pitch, Women's Soccer at Altitude. I'm Kate Hansen. So today's episode is one I've been looking forward to for a while because my guest today is someone who, and I don't say this lightly, is one of the most interesting people in professional soccer. Not just one of the best defenders in the NWSL, not just a two-time best 11 selection, not just someone who's made history for the United States national team. She's all of that, but she is also something more. She is Carson Pickett, number 16, Denver Summit FC, and she is here with us on the 5280 Pitch. Carson, thank you so much for joining me.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to get to chat with each other.
Yeah, and like I said, I've been looking forward to this conversation for a while. So let's start here because I think a lot of Summit fans are still getting to know you. You have this incredible resume: Seattle Reign, Orlando Pride, NC Courage, Racing Louisville, back to Orlando, and now Denver. You have 185 NWSL appearances, and you've basically seen the whole league grow up in real time. So what made you decide Denver was the next right step for you?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question because I think when it comes to free agency, it can be really tricky. I think that, it is such a great thing for our league, but also when you're in the middle of it and you're trying to figure out what's best for you, and there's a lot of things to consider. And like you said, I've been here since almost the beginning. So I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly of the NWSL. And I'm just so proud of where we've come. I mean, from starting off in 2016 when I got drafted, it is just, we've come so far, and I am so truly proud of that. And I think a lot of people ask me a lot of times, obviously these younger players, they're getting so much money, and they're like, oh, do you feel like you missed out on money? And I obviously, yes, I do. But also in my position, I think it is so cool to have seen the start to where we are now and to actually be a part of it, the whole thing. And for me, I'll forgo money for the experience of just seeing this league grow tremendously in the past, 10 years now that I've been in the league, 11 years.
Crazy.
So when I was thinking about where I wanted to go next, it was of course about soccer, yes, but I think for me, because I've been in the league so long, I was ready to kind of feel like I should give back to the league and give back to a team that maybe, has no history. It's brand new. And I felt like I was in a position in my career to go somewhere to help build something instead of just step into a team that is top four and that you're going to go in there, you're going to compete for championships, which again, of course, we're going to compete for championship here now that I've been here for quite some time. All of preseason, I can confidently say that will be the case. But I just felt like it was time for me to give back to kind of soccer and to the NWSL and just go be a leader and start, a brand new club from the ground up and just build it how we want to build it. So that was kind of the main reason for Denver. Another reason is I played here for 2 months in college. Our coach would make us during the summer go play for summer league teams. Okay. And I came and played for Denver, and it was Rush, Denver at the time. And so I had so many good friends. Janine, Becky, Sonis, and I is where we first played together actually when we were in college. So to be her teammate now is just incredible. I think 11 or 12 years down the road, we are finally reunited in the place that we got to play together first. So I have 2 best friends here, and Denver was amazing. I fell in love with it during that summer, and yeah, it was just such an easy decision for me.
Well, as someone that's born and raised here, I can't imagine living anywhere else. I'd definitely say Denver's a pretty great place to call home. Yeah. I saw, when you were talking about it would have been nice to have the money you were definitely a trailblazer. And it made me start thinking about, I apologize, but it made me start thinking about Johnny Manziel, how he was always, talking about getting paid and what he did. Not like him or not, but he really paved the way for a lot of NIL. And I think that sometimes you need to have those people that are making the game what it is and making a name for themselves to pave the way for the next generation. So thank you for paving the way for our new generation in NWSL.
Of course, I feel so honored. I definitely feel
Well, let's go back. Let's go back to the beginning for a second because you were the fourth overall pick in the 2016 draft, Seattle Reign, and I think people forget how young you were. Just out of Florida State, walking into a league that honestly was still finding its own footing. What was that like being a rookie in this league, a very new league?
scary. It was scary for so many reasons, and I'm someone that I will be fully transparent in all of my answers that I talk about, but it was scary. I remember being at Florida State, and my freshman year, the NWSL still wasn't a solid league. I didn't know that, I never knew if I was going to get the opportunity to play in a league in America because really it hadn't shown that it was going to survive multiple years. And so when I got, a couple years older, when I went to my junior year, it started to become a little more stable, and it was about 2 or 3 years in, and I was like, okay, I think it's gonna survive, but you never know how long. And so to begin with, I didn't even know if I was gonna get to play pro soccer, especially in America, in front of my family, in front of these amazing fans. Like I had no idea. And so then when I was able to, have the opportunity to play soccer, and it was with Seattle. First off, being from Florida and going to state, and
Temperature
I
difference.
yes, temperature difference, like the city is so different. I come from a beach town and it's just so different. And then I had just never gone that far away from my family. So I don't think I could have been drafted to anywhere further from my family. And that was definitely scary as well. It was also scary because we had host families at the time, so I was about to, I grew up. I'm an only child, so I grew up just me
Me
and my
too.
parents. Yes. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. But it was just me and my parents, and then I go to college, had my own, apartment for 4 years, and then now I'm moving across country to somewhere I have know nothing about, moving into someone's house with young kids that were 4 and 8, and I'm sharing a home with a 4 and 8 year old when I'm an only child and have been in college, living on my own. So
It's a big
there was
difference.
yeah, it's a huge difference. And so I think there were so many factors outside of the obvious of soccer, which was scary on its own because I mean, I'm stepping into playing against the best in the world. Not the best in the country, not the best, a couple good players here and there, and know like every single player on that roster is one of the best in the world. And that was petrifying going there, but I knew that Seattle was actually a club before me. They didn't really draft a lot of rookies. They had their set team, and they had been together. The Lou Barnes, the Jess Fishlock, Kim Little. I mean, they were together for a long time, and it was a tight knit family. So they didn't ever really draft rookies. Laura didn't really believe in that at the time. She just kind of wanted her group of amazing players just to kind of stay together. She knew she could compete with them. But then the way that the league was changing, I mean, you have to bring rookies in at some point because, your players are getting older. So I think I was one of the first rookies that really got drafted there and made it there. But it was really challenging. When I got drafted, everyone was like, "Oh, you're going to an amazing club. They're like a family." And don't get me wrong, they are family, but you definitely still had to break into the family a little bit.
Hmm.
And so, being one of the only rookies there, and the next player I think that was close to my age was maybe 5 years older than me. So it was a big change for a lot of different reasons. But I wouldn't take that experience away. It made me grow up a lot. I thought I was
Yeah.
going to grow up a lot in college, and I did, but I really grew up when I moved across country. First year in the NWSL, I was starting as a rookie. There's some really challenging moments, but it was a really great experience.
Well, and it seems like you really found your footing when you got to North Carolina,
Hmm.
back to back NWSL Best 11 in 2021 and 2022. And in 2022, you led the league in assists with 6 as a left back. So that number really doesn't make sense when you think about it, because typically left backs aren't known for that. So what clicked when you were with the Courage? Like what changed in your game?
Yeah, I will completely agree with that. I think my career completely changed when I went to the Courage. I think the style of play, and the players I was around were the biggest difference. In a lot of teams before that, I was a defender, but I was like only a defender. It wasn't like I was an attacking defender because this league is, I mean, we have some we have the best forwards in the world in this league. So, you're not always attacking. You're going to have to defend some really good forwards. And so, a couple of the teams I were on before that, I was a defender as a defender, which sounds silly, but and then I got to North Carolina, and the way that we played was just so attack minded that he was just like, you know what? Yeah, you are a defender, but I want you so much more in the attack because that means we have the ball. If you're in the attack and in the attacking half, that means we have full possession, and I want that majority of the game. So I think I just got to play how I really truly play as an outside back. I mean, we have great outside backs in this league, and some are more defensive minded and some are more attacking minded. I'm certainly more attacking minded. So I just felt the freedom to be able to go forward, to play my game that I was kind of ready to play, but I never really got the opportunity in the NWSL. I would say I definitely had that opportunity at Florida State because we played very similar soccer. But I just had the best teammates. I had the best players on that team. I mean, getting to play with Dabinia, Jess McDonald, Lynn Williams. I mean, I could literally go through the whole roster, and it was an incredible starting 11 and then an amazing bench that was coming off, coming on into the game as well. So I just trusted my teammates so much that if we lost the ball, they were going to get back for me, and it wasn't just going to have to be all on me to get back if I was attacking.
Yeah.
So it just really, I started to play the game that is more my type of game, which is an attack minding outside back.
And I have to ask about the national team because in June of 22, you made your debut for U.S. Against Colombia. You played all 90 minutes. Mm-hmm. Of course, U.S. won 2-0. And what all do you remember about that night?
Man, it's almost like really hard to talk about sometimes because like I have this strongest feeling about it, and it's just so hard to portray like the pride that I felt, like the honor that I felt. I just remember going out, I'll never forget this, going out for warm-ups in my, U.S. women's national team training top, and just walking out of the tunnel and just hearing chants like USA, USA, and then people knowing your name. And I'm like, wow, I'm not representing an NWSL club right now. I'm representing the United States of America. And that was the coolest moment for me. But even cooler was the fact that I felt so much pride for also representing limb difference. No one has ever been on the national team with a limb difference. I was the first one. So like that was heavy in a way, obviously, because I just felt like I was representing so many people. Like not only the American fans, but all the limb difference people, maybe even in the world, because that had just never really happened before. And so I remember seeing my parents, when I found out I was starting, they flew immediately to the game, and I just saw them in the stands, and I honestly could have cried in that moment. If I wasn't so nervous, I probably would have cried because it was so cool. My parents are my best friends. My dad was my coach growing up. I owe everything to them, and to be able to just make eye contact and see them wearing that jersey and representing so many people in the limb difference community was just something that I will never forget, and it was so special.
Well, and there is the photo from 2019 that I think a lot of people remember, and you're playing for Orlando at the time, and you jog over to this family in the stands after the game, and there's a little boy who has the same limb difference as you. Mm-hmm. And you two do this arm bump on the sideline, and that photo just took off. Do you remember that moment and what it was like to suddenly see that picture everywhere?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I remember it like it was yesterday. I actually had met Joseph before that, and we had an interaction. His family had reached out to Orlando, and they were like, we would love for them to meet. I know he's really young, but I think it would just be really cool for both of them. He grew up in Orlando. I'm representing Orlando, and I think it would be a really cool opportunity. We met before, and the coolest moment for me was when I showed him my arm. as a 2-year-old, he looked at it and started smiling. And I don't have kids, so I don't know how, I don't know what, if he thinks we're the same, if he knows we're the same, if he knows anything even about his own arm. And so it was so cool, I think I was 28 or at the time, as a 28-year-old, being able to connect with a 2-year-old and feeling that we had the exact same situation. We'd go through the same things. Yes, I'm 26 years older than him, but to connect and know that we were the exact same in that moment was so cool. And so seeing him in the stands that game, I mean, we didn't plan that at all. He just stuck out his arm, and I was like, oh my gosh, he remembered me. He remembers that we're the same. I hope he thinks that every time he sees me that he can just dream big and know that, nothing can stand in his way and he can do whatever he wants to do in life. So I feel like in that moment, that's kind of what I was thinking. And yeah, it was incredible.
Well, and you've made it a bit of your mission to try and meet somebody at every stadium, right?
Yes. Yeah. I'm trying to meet someone at every single away stadium that I play in so far. So
Yeah.
I haven't gotten there yet. I haven't gotten to all of them, but I hope I get there this year.
Yeah, it's such an incredible story.
Thank you.
So bigger picture here, you've been in the league since 2016, 185 appearances. You've watched the NWSL go from honestly kind of a scrappy operation. I mean, you were staying at host families to what it is now. Expansion teams, national TV deals, full stadiums, football stadiums. What is the biggest change that you've seen in this league and the culture and what it means to be a professional women's soccer player here in America?
Yeah, I mean, that is a great question. I think the biggest thing for me is that I finally feel like my profession isn't a joke, to be honest. In the beginning, again, thanks to my parents, because would never be able to play professional women's soccer if it wasn't for my parents. I was making $8,000 for 6 months. I mean, it's just, you can't live off that.
No.
Well, it was, and then my big raise the next year was 16,000. So you still can't live off that first 6 or 7 months. And I owe it all to my parents because I truly would not be able to play. Girls were coaching, they were getting jobs as baristas, they were working in restaurants, retail stores. People were having to have 2 different jobs when we were first in the league. And so I think for me is the biggest thing is that now I feel like my profession is truly a profession and people don't take it as a joke or think that it's like a Sunday league and, oh, I didn't even know there was a soccer league. And that's been the coolest thing for me is that when I say I play, professional soccer, people now are like, oh, in the NWSL. Like they know there's a league. They finally understand that it is a real league. It's I think it's the best in the world. But I know it's up for debate, but I truly think it's the best in the world. And I just think that we're treated like true professionals. And for me, that's the biggest thing because, we were in Seattle, we were in a public run stadium. We had to move our stuff every single day because a football team would come practice in there, a high school football team. And we had one physio, like with 22 players, we had one person that was able to give us any kind of help. We had 2 coaches basically, maybe 3 if you were at a big time club. You had no gear. So I went from Florida State in the ACC where we were getting, I could dress hundreds of people with all the stuff I was getting at Florida State. And then I go to Seattle and I get a training gear. Like that is it. There's no hoodie to fly with. We got nothing. And it's no fault to theirs. It was just how the league was. We were trying to just survive and get to play the game we love. So I think those are the biggest things, just kind of feeling like you are supported in every single way now. Our CBA obviously helps so much. We are protected, can't get traded without consent now. And there's just so many things that we've come so far with. Yes, we still have so many things to go and we will get there. But so far, I'm so proud of where we're at because, it was bare minimum in the beginning and that was fine by us, because that's all we had.
It's interesting too. So that's how it was when you first started. And then now you're on an expansion team, which some people might be saying like, oh man, are you having to start all over again and be like, oh no, there is a professional soccer team. There is this. I feel like Denver's a little different. honestly, like, what have you thought about being a part of an expansion team here in Denver? Because as a Denver native and huge sports fan, it always baffled me as to how there's all these NWSL teams and Denver didn't have one. I'm like, man, we have amazing soccer programs here in Colorado. We're huge sports fans. How do we not have an NWSL team? So how has it been for you as a player coming to a team that really, quote unquote, doesn't exist yet, and the culture that's already here?
My best answer for that is what took so long, because I completely agree. Denver is, and I've known this, but I have recently really, really learned this. I have never been to a place that loves sports more than Denver. It is the biggest sports city I have ever seen, ever visited, ever been a part of. I mean, the fact that you have pretty much, I think, what every men's sports team represented here from that you could possibly think of, five different ones, right? And then, like I said, playing my college, summer here, I was like, this place is soccer obsessed. They love soccer here. And truly, I'm like, what took so long for the NWSL to find Denver? Because this place is incredible. I've been on so many different teams, obviously, and I came out here with my parents over Christmas after I had signed, because I was trying to come find a place to live, seeing kind of what area I wanted to live in. And within 2 days of being here and walking around downtown, not wearing a Denver Summit shirt, nothing, I had 3 people within 2 days stop me and say, "Oh my gosh, you just signed for the Denver Summit. Like, welcome to Denver." And I have never even been stopped other places, and them knowing. I mean, they knew who I was, but they didn't know, that I played professional soccer for the Orlando Pride. Like, that just didn't happen. They just knew because I was like from there and things like that. So the fact that I was stopped 2 days by 3 different people showed me that I was like, wow, like this was the right decision to bring NWSL to Denver, because these people love soccer and they love sports. That's been the biggest thing for me so far, is just, being stopped in the streets. Everyone, like, it seems like everyone knows about Denver Summit. And I will say, I have to give all the credit to the Cohens. They're incredible owners. All of the hires that they've had, Kurt Johnson, obviously Nick as our coach, like, they have hit the nail on the head with who they brought in, and they were very selective about it. And you can tell that they wanted people with experience. Like Kurt having experience at North Carolina in the NWSL, I think is such a positive, because this league's different. This league's different than any other league in the world. And if you don't have people that have ever been in the NWSL, like, you're probably not going to survive. And so I think the fact that they have brought people in that have already worked in the NWSL is massive for an expansion team. And I will say, I know there'll be bumps in the road, but I have been so incredibly impressed with how this club has been run from the ground up within the last 6 to 8 weeks.
It's funny because people that listen to the podcast prior to having you on the show and Jordan on the show, and I feel like I said probably more than I should have how intentional everything with this team has felt, especially with the roster build between a lot of established veterans like yourself and Janine and Kaylee. I mean, Lindsay, all those very established veterans, and then a lot of fun, exciting rookies. So talk about what the roster build has looked like, how that locker room feels. Kaylee said on the show that she was on, there's the grandmas of the group, and the rookies are keeping you guys young with the lingo and everything. So let's talk about the roster a little bit and how that locker room feels.
Oh my gosh, I can't say enough good things about this locker room. I take pride, again, like I said, there is a lot of pressure coming, to an expansion team and being a veteran in the league, because so many people are going to look to you, to how you react to things, how you build, literally build something from the ground up. People are looking at you, these young ones. I mean, they're like, how do we do this? There's the first year in the league. And I feel so incredibly blessed that we have great grandmas. We do call ourselves the grandmas. We have a group chat, and it is called the grandmas, the Denver Summit grandmas. But I just feel like I have amazing teammates that are also veterans in this league, like you said, KK, Janine, Abby. I think we have a really good veteran group that's here now and that understands the process. When you come in to begin with, it's not going to be perfect, but also there's a lot of pressure because however you start this club, hopefully 10 years from now, we will look back and say, wow, we started this and I'm so proud of where it's come because it could have gone two different ways when you start, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so I think the mix of veterans in this team, but also, like you said, the younger ones that absolutely, we need them. We're going to need them big time. I think obviously when you have a club that is, has been a club for 8 years, you need rookies for sure. You need rookies, but they have a little more time to come into the league and to get that experience. Like our rookies, we need them now. We don't need them 3 months from now. We need them right now. And so it's cool. Like I think it's a really cool opportunity for them to be able to come in a pressure cooker situation and just step into that role. And I will say I'm so thankful and I'm so blessed with the rookies that we got because they hop on board to everything that we ask them to hop on board on, and they are so receptive. They're open to learning. There's no attitude that comes with it. They truly do want the best for the team. And yeah, it seems like preseason's really long, but when you're new to this league, 8 weeks feels like 1 week because you just have to hop on board and go. And I cannot say enough good things about these rookies and what they've brought to the team already. Not only on the field, but off the field. Like I said, like KK said, I have no idea what they're talking about half the time. And I'm like, you guys are ridiculous, but I love you for it. And I'm so glad that you're here because now I feel at least 5 years younger.
Yeah. Well, the summit social media is pretty fun because I think there's a lot of you guys walking out of the locker room where they'll have you
Yeah.
answer questions and stuff. And you can definitely tell there's a bit of an age gap between certain questions that they ask. Speaking of social media, are you just the designated announcer for who is going to be on the team? Or let's talk about that for a second here because that was hilarious. And if people don't know what I'm talking about, you announced how many players did you announce before the team did?
Yes. So I was just, because I'm such a selfless person, I was just trying to help them with their job. No, I did fully announce two different people and big signings. I would say they're pretty big signings.
Yeah, they
So
are.
and Kelsey, who is the head of our social media, she's awesome. She messaged me after the first one. She was like, okay, thank you so much for doing my job. So you did announce Liv. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Like, I was already too far gone. It was up for way too many hours. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to say, should I delete this one? Then the next one went. And I'm very active on social media, I'm sure, as people know. And Kelsey loves me for it. She's like, I need you to take 0.5s. Like, I need this, I need this. So I feel like I'm working for the Denver Summit, not just a player, but also for the social media team. And so then when I announced Tosh, that one was tough because she's she's my best friend on the team. But I'm like, if you're around me, you will be on my social media. So maybe you guys need to hurry up with the announcing. I'm like, let's go. Let's get it out so I can have fun with my friends. But yes, that was not good. But you know
It
what?
was hilarious.
They made a good TikTok out of it. So I think it all worked out in the end.
Yeah, I think it got picked up too by the NWSL
Yeah,
account too. And so, I mean, it was pretty good, but
it was.
okay, so I have to ask this because I ask everyone this. It's about the altitude. It is a very real thing here, 5,280 feet. How has it been for you adjusting to the altitude coming from sea level and training here? And do you think it's going to be able to work to your guys' advantage?
I absolutely think it's going to work to our advantage because let me tell you right now, it's been awful. Coming from Florida, especially, it was awful at first. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. And so, but I was like, okay, this is awful, but that just means it's going to be awful for everyone that comes and plays us. So, yes, I think it will work to our advantage. I mean, Nick says all the time, he calls it our third lung, and I truly think it is. It's going to be our third lung. I think once we get that past that 60 minutes where, most people get extremely tired, especially in this league with so transitional and things like that, I think it will just help us so much, because it is challenging. It's challenging to run, play soccer, climb stairs. I mean, I literally climb like 14 stairs, I think, for breakfast and lunch every day, and I'm out of breath every single time. So
Have you
it's
made it
hopefully
to Red Rocks yet to do the stairs at Red Rocks?
so I did when I was living here when I was in college, but I have not gone back because I'm actually scared. I'm so
Oh,
scared. I don't
it's
want to
such good
work out
training.
there. I know how beautiful it is, but I am nervous about trying to climb those stairs and actually be serious and do a workout there. So that will come maybe. But yeah, I think it will work to our advantage for sure. And I think even, opposite when we go down to sea level, I think we'll be able to run for days. So I actually think it's both. Like I think teams will definitely struggle here, but also I think we will be able to capitalize that when we go to sea level as well.
Yeah, definitely. I know whenever I travel, I'm like, I love it when I go to sea level. I'm like, that was only 2 miles. I got another
Yeah,
mile in me. This is amazing. So,
exactly.
well, March 28th, Washington Spirit, home opener. We've already sold over 45,000 tickets. I mean, what do you do with this information as a player? This is the first ever home game in club's history. And like we said earlier, Denver's been waiting for an NWSL team. I think obviously by the amount of tickets that we sold, but what do you think about this home opener?
Man, I mean, Denver has already showed up. So, still being weeks away, the fact that we've sold that many tickets is absolutely incredible. And I think that's going to be one of many records that we break. I think that our fans here are, I'm not even going to say some of the best in the NWSL. They truly, without even stepping on the field, without having a game, I truly believe they're the best fans in this league. And like I said, we haven't even had a game yet. So
Yeah.
I can just imagine the way that everyone's going to show up for us, for the Denver community. And I just hope that we play the type of game that, yes, we're proud of, but also that they're proud of as well. Like the way that we play, we want to represent not only ourselves, but Denver as a
Mhm.
community. And we
Yeah.
want to make it fun. We want to make it not too back and forth because we don't need too much. We want to be on top all the time. But
Yeah.
I just think we want to play a style that is fun to watch and that people are proud of and that they, when we're on the TV, they're like, that's my team. So it's incredible how much they've showed up already, and we still have a whole season to go. So I think
Yeah.
there's so many records that are broken thanks to these fans here in Denver. And I'm just so excited to step on that field for the first time and just to feel so much love for the city and to just show them how grateful we are that they show up and that they're there for us no matter what. And I'm just so excited for that.
Yeah, it's going to be an incredible experience for everyone attending as a fan. I'm sure for you guys on the field, I'm sure it's going to be super loud, but I'm really excited for this season to kick off. And honestly, I could talk to you for another 2 hours, but that is the end of our time. So I want to thank you again so much for joining me. Before I let you go, where can fans follow along? You are very active over on the gram. You
Yeah.
are showcasing all the different restaurants that you're trying out here in the Denver area and out on the road. But give us an example as to where we can stay along with all things Carson Pickett.
Yeah, so probably get in trouble for this one, and I'm gonna announce something here. So you're the first one to hear it, but me and Tosh Flint are actually gonna start a podcast as well, but it'll be through Denver Summit. So we will have, obviously all of our teammates on. We're gonna try and do, maybe a different coffee shop every week and things like that. We just want to show the fans who we are as people and not just as players. And so we'll be starting that eventually. But yeah, I mean, Instagram, TikTok, I make ridiculous TikToks. So honestly, my social media is not really just even about me. I just want to showcase my amazing teammates as well and just our personalities because obviously we're so much more than just soccer players. And I just want all of Denver to see, a little bit into our lives off the
I
field.
love it. Have you thought of a title for the podcast yet?
Not yet. So, we're open to suggestions. We really want to make it good. Like, we're trying to take our time. We don't want to rush it. But I just think it'll be such a cool opportunity for fans to get to know us just as human beings.
It's going to be awesome. I love it. I love it. I can't wait to tune in. And once you do have the show link and everything, or I will include it in my show notes so people can go ahead and
Perfect.
listen. And
Thank you.
yeah, so well, again, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for choosing Denver. This city is so lucky to have you, and we can't wait to see you out on the pitch this couple weeks here.
It's coming really fast. No, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me. This was honestly so great. Such a great conversation with you. So thank you.
All right, that's Carson Pickett, number 16, Denver Summit FC defender, two-time NWSL Best 11, Defender of the Year finalist. Honestly, just an incredible person to talk to, and I hope that you loved that conversation as much as I did. Make sure that you're subscribed to the 5280 Pitch wherever you listen to podcasts. Check us out over on YouTube. Leave a review if you are feeling generous. It helps more than you know. And head over to the 5280pitch.com for all of the blogs, for the newsletter so you never miss an episode, and for some incredible merch. I love our merch, but I'm a little biased. Got to go check out the merch. Everything is at the 5280pitch.com. All right, I am Kate Hansen. This is the 5280 Pitch, women's soccer at altitude. We'll see you next time.